And the Oscar goes to Brie Larson.
It is officially Oscar night, whether you are tuning in to watch the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, the recognition of fantastic filmmaking, or to see Jennifer Lawrence fall up some stairs, or even a parking cone, or get drunk and tell Bradley Cooper to f*** off. There is something for everyone. This year's acting categories are stacked, filled with actors like Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Olivia Colman, and Lady Gaga, all deserving nominees but only one can win, which leaves us with a hefty list of actors that in their long career have yet to win an Oscar. So today on Beyond the Screen, I'm going to be listing off some of the biggest names without that highly sought after golden statue. I'm Lucy McPhee and this is the top 10 actors who have never won an Oscar. Before we begin, be sure to stick around on the channel for the rest of the night. We'll be uploading a whole bunch of Oscar vids as the night goes on, so stay tuned. We're also closing in on 10,000 subscribers, so if you haven't yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's jump in. Coming in at 10, Tom Cruise. Wait, you mean Tom Cruise has never won an Oscar for the critically acclaimed Mission Impossible 1 through 6? Yep, I know, I'm shook. Judge all you want, there is no denying that Tom Cruise has been in some phenomenal films, delivering even greater performances. He's a controversial actor due to his controversial beliefs, but that isn't relevant. Cruise over the years has been nominated for 3 Oscars, for Jerry Maguire, Born on the 4th of July, and Magnolia. In his later years, he has deviated slightly from critically acclaimed movies, opting for action flicks and gifting us with more and more Mission Impossibles. Honestly, I'm not upset. I love them. In at 9, Edward Norton. American History X was a transformative film. Through its commentary on race in America, the redemptive story of a white supremacist played by Norton, the film was eye-opening, devastating yet optimistic. How Norton didn't nab that Oscar is beyond me, missing out on the win thanks to Robert Benigni in Life is Beautiful, a win that most of us will never forget, with the actor climbing on the back of the seats to get to the stage. It's kind of a dickish move. But I digress. Norton has since starred in films such as Alita Battle Angel, Birdman, and Sausage Party. Birdman being the exception, it seems like Norton doesn't have the Oscars on his mind these days, opting for more enjoyable roles as opposed to Oscar favourites. However, I still have hope that one day Norton's name will be called. In at 8, Sigourney Weaver. Seems bizarre that we live in a world where Ellen Ripley has never won an Oscar. For Alien alone, I mean, my god, even Aliens. How has she not nabbed the acclaimed prize? More shockingly, Weaver's last nomination was received in 1989 for her performance in Working Girl. Since the 80s, she has slowly transitioned away from your classic Hollywood jerk-off film to the film she wants to make, starring in fan favourites like Finding Dory, Cabin in the Woods, and even Avatar. The latter we should never discuss. Sadly, there are 4 more films in development, so it seems unlikely that Weaver will ever get her hands on the award, at least not in the near future. If she keeps doing that, she doesn't even deserve it, so her loss. In at 7, Ed Harris. Harris's portrayal of Richard Brown in The Hours is tragically beautiful, yet unfortunately overpowered by the 3 female leads, and of course, Nicole Kidman's nose. Ed Harris is yet another actor with a prolific career in Hollywood, garnering 4 nominations since 1996 for works such as Apollo 13, The Truman Show, Pollock, and of course, The Hours. In my opinion, it is a disservice to the industry that Harris has yet to win an Oscar, but I guess the same could be said for most of our list, except Tom Cruise. In at 6, Annette Bening. Bening is arguably one of the most underrated actresses of our time, holding a prolific career that is envied by most, yet here she is, on our list. Since 1991, she has garnered 4 Oscar nominations for performances in The Grifters, American Beauty, Being Julia, and The Kids Are All Right. She's an incredible actress, much like many others on our list, but she's one that relies on subtlety. Her performances are never overzealous or overplayed, but raw and human, and her performance in The Kids Are All Right presents that beautifully. With certainty, I can say that Bening will one day win an Oscar, whether next year or in 10 years from now. Her name will be called, and it will be well deserved. In at 5, Robert Downey Jr. It's hard not to see Robert Downey Jr. as any character other than Tony Stark these days, which I suppose is a compliment, I guess. Yet we have all sadly forgotten the impressive career Robert Downey Jr. has had outside of the Marvel Universe, holding 2 Academy Award nominations, one for Chaplin and the other Tropic Thunder, the former gaining him immense praise and accolades, but Downey Jr. unfortunately had the Oscar snatched from him by Al Pacino for Scent of a Woman. I guess we can't really argue with that. It's hard to tell if an Oscar will ever be on the cards for Downey Jr. I mean, considering his on-screen wife Gwyneth Paltrow has one, there could still be hope. Perhaps we could be seeing him grace the silver screen in an entirely different role to the genius Iron Man, who as of now is floating around in space, desperately waiting for a rocket to save him. In at 4, Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix is Hollywood royalty, having a place in the industry for the past 30 years, along the way starring in great films such as Gladiator, Walk the Line, and The Master, scoring Oscar nominations for all 3. However, how he got snubbed for You Were Never Really Here is beyond me. In my opinion, it's his greatest work to date since Inherent Vice and Her. It's hard to believe he has never nabbed a golden Oscar, but we're still holding out hope. Coming in at 3, Amy Adams. It's hard to forget the telephone that just won't stop ringing as Meryl Streep and Philip Seymour Hoffman debate about his curious actions while Amy Adams watches on, the stress of the conversation and the ringing of the telephone showing on her face. She says nothing, but she doesn't have to. Her face says it all. She was nominated for an Oscar for Doubt. Unfortunately, she didn't win, losing out to Penelope Cruz and Vicky Cristina Barcelona. This has sadly become a running trend for Amy Adams in her impressive career, having been nominated for Junebug, Doubt, The Fighter, and American Hustle, making it so close to the end but losing out at the finish line. Tonight she is nominated for playing Dick Cheney's wife in Vice. Could tonight break the curse for Amy Adams? Here's hoping. Although probably not, because everyone said Vice is crap, but I haven't seen it, so. In at 2, Ralph Fiennes. 600 years ago, when elsewhere they were footing the blame for the Black Death, Casimir the Great, so-called, told the Jews they could come to Krakow. They came, they trundled their belongings into the city. They settled, they took hold, they prospered in business, science, education, the arts. They came with nothing, and they flourished. For 6 centuries there's been a Jewish Krakow. By this evening those 6 centuries will be a rumor. They never happened. Today is history. Wow. In 1993, Fiennes played a German commander in one of the greatest films of our time, Schindler's List, a film that tells the distressing story of the Holocaust in German-occupied Poland. Fiennes was a revelation, receiving an Oscar nomination for his performance but losing out to Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive. Still heartbroken about that. He was also nominated in 1996 for The English Patient, but is yet to win an Oscar. But for such a diverse actor, you never know what he will deliver us next. Hope is still out there. And lastly, in at number 1, Glenn Close. With such a prolific career in the film industry, it's hard to imagine that the great Glenn Close has yet to win an Oscar. I like to pride myself on being a film buff, but even this little nugget of information slipped past me. Glenn Close, the actress who tricked us all back in 1991 when she had played the small role of a male pirate who met a grisly fate in the Disney classic Hook, the phenomenal actress has been graced with a handful of nominations over previous years for work such as Albert Nobbs, Dangerous Liaisons, and Fatal Attraction, which she lost out to Cher in Moonstruck. Cher has an Oscar. Just think about that. However, many are holding out hope that tonight could be her night after she picked up the Golden Globe for her performance in the 2019 film The Wife. Well, there we have it. If you're watching this after tonight's award show, what did you think of the winners? Did you agree? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. If you're watching this now, be sure to stick around on the channel because we'll have more videos popping up soon. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another vid. And until next time, see you later.